Hi, it's Chris and Elizabeth with conversations about mindset and well-being. And I'm heading this up from BC, and you, my friend, are on the opposite side of the continent.
Maine.
Yeah.
Hello, hello, everybody. Hi from Maine.
And today we were just having a little chit chat before we hopped on, saying how excited we are to be doing this together, having conversations. And today, mindset was really on my mind. It
Oh,
often
yeah.
is. How do you keep that mindset strong and healthy so that you can navigate what we're sort of going through and dealing with? And so that was something that we were talking about today. And we wanted to sort of open up the conversation to you as well and have that be the platform for today's talk, I guess, right?
Well,
So,
yeah, and this new group we've got is so perfect for that. And I love everybody chiming in, and they're going to have to get used to us a little bit.
yeah.
We're combining our groups. And so, people are used to either you or me in our own groups. So it's doing this together.
Yes, I know, right? The merge, and I am really excited
Yeah,
about that too.
me
But I
too,
think
yeah.
one of the things that's that common thread between us is just all of the things that we talk about are people in both groups, and now this one really care about that kind of stuff and really want to share their thoughts and ideas about it. And so I think that common thread is what's going to keep us strong and keep us going.
We'll
And that
talk.
is you and I with our friendship and our connection too. The reason that we find so much, I don't know, joy in our collaboration is just how many times I can't name that you and I have talked and I've gone, oh, me too. Yeah, that's right. Oh,
Middle names, yeah.
yeah, I
Super
know.
funny.
Yeah.
But I was marveling at the fact that you even have a smile on your face right now. And we were talking about that before we went on, whether we should talk about what's really going on in the background or not. Aside from all the coronavirus thing,
Yeah.
you guys have something pretty heavy that you're dealing with, and I
Yeah.
think it's so important to talk about because you're not alone.
Yeah.
We have other people in our own community dealing with the exact same thing right now.
Yeah, that's right.
So I was hoping that you would share that with the group so that they really
Yeah.
understand the magnitude of
Yeah,
your smile.
I will. And that's something. So what it is my husband was diagnosed with stage 4 cancer on February 26th. And it was right when we in sort of North America were kind of getting the word or the sense that the coronavirus was on its way. So it wasn't here yet. We didn't have any changes affecting us yet, but we were just sort of like wondering. And now that that has manifested to we're doing isolation, businesses have closed one at a time in stores and limited going out, that has sort of impacted our cancer journey in many ways. We've had appointments that have been delayed. I haven't been allowed to join my husband in the hospital on his visits. And actually, currently, right now, he's been on a 4 or 5 day stretch where he's been in the hospital because of an infection, which, if you don't know about cancer, when you're taking chemo, it gets rid of your cancer, but it also gets rid of everything, so including your immune system. So that's why they're like, when he gets an infection or a little fever, anything, we'll take him in and we'll take care of him here so we can keep him really protected till he's stronger. So we expect him home in another day or two, which is the great news. And the team is awesome. But when I first started this journey, besides all of the moments where I was like, what, why us, why me, this isn't fair, and all of that,
Yeah.
ripples of emotions, and certainly they still ripple
Oh,
and go
they're
up
gonna
and
go
down.
grow. Yeah.
Definitely. But I think the thing for me that has really helped us stay positive is we're past that point where, like, we didn't choose cancer, we didn't want this, and that was out of our control.
Right.
And so then my husband and I both frame it and we say, so what is in our control? And that's how we choose to look at it, how we choose to navigate it. Am I still having days where, yeah, I'm sad or crying? Yes. But the times that there are joyful things, I hold on to those and I find joy in the little things so that all of those steps can lift me up, right? And one of the things for me is the sharing. I am definitely a sharer.
Yeah.
um, and I find great comfort in being able to share what's happening with me, and then people responding to me also just really warms my heart because,
Oh, yeah.
you said it really in the beginning. You said, Chris, you're not alone. And I feel that. I truly feel that to the core of my being. And I also want that message to go out to anybody else who's dealing with this
Yeah.
or something like this. And even if you don't have a really big looming thing like cancer is really big. That's something people have said to me too. They're like, oh, I shouldn't tell you about how hard it is for me with my homeschooling kids or my husband being off work, because what you have is so big. And I just think that this isn't a time or a place for those comparisons. it doesn't matter.
Whatever's going on,
Yeah,
we acknowledge that it's going
that's
on.
right.
We're here with you,
Yeah.
whatever it is, because we all have our stuff. And, and also we all trade off all of these moments,
Yes.
where you need us, we need you. You
Yeah.
need us, we need you. We
Yeah.
all need each other. So we say that a lot, which is why it's so important to collaborate and do these things. I was saying, I know yesterday was I'm sorry, the days are blending. Like, I know it's Thursday.
You're not alone. The days are blending.
They're blending.
Yeah.
But I think it was yesterday. You guys had a moment where he was able to have like more of an outside of the hospital,
Yes.
take a breath of fresh air moment. And, we were talking before we went on, like, people sometimes when they get sick, they're sort of like, sometimes very like one way or another. And I wondered if we were going to get a smiling picture of him or a sad picture of him.
Yeah.
And I'm so proud of you guys, and I love your story that you were. I was hoping you'd share that story of which one we're feeding today.
I will. Yeah. No, I love that.
But
And
smiling Ben was he reminds me of my dad. My dad is like the
Yeah.
only human being to talk over a ventilator and
Yeah.
smile over a ventilator. I'm like,
Yeah.
seriously, you're smiling?
Yeah, but those are the little choices, and that's the
Survival.
thing too, right? The little choices that you can still own even when things feel out of control. But I was saying, one of the things I don't know where it originated, but it's a story of two wolves. And the idea in this tale is that the two wolves live inside of you. And the first wolf is resonating peace and joy and happiness and love. And the second wolf, in that wolf lives fear and worry and anger and sort of the antithesis, the
Or
opposite.
vibration.
And it says, what wolf is alive in you? And the answer to the tale or the question is whatever wolf you're feeding.
I love that.
Is going to thrive. And so you want to feed the wolf that brings you peace and joy in moments. And so I was writing about that on my blog today and just saying, I'm really trying to feed that wolf, but the other wolf sometimes gets a little bite in.
Wolf needs a
but
diet.
The next day I'm not feeding him. Next day I'm not feeding him. He no more food for you.
In the smoothie.
Yeah,
smoothie.
but that really is part of it, and it is a daily process that it's still, when people see me and they go, oh, you're so positive, like it doesn't even feel like you're going through something. I'm like, I still process those things, but I choose to not stay there. I choose to not ground there and live there. So when they come, and that's why I think sometimes the roller coaster is more aggressive for me. Because when I get down there, I do allow it, and I have had those other emotions get processed, but I don't stay there. I don't want to stay there. I want to move on to other things and find those moments.
Or have people help you lift up.
Yes.
If you're really feeling like you're staying there, that's one thing I love about you. And I always encourage this in Best Ever You, when you are really having a crappy day, say it, because then we'll know it. I always say same thing with goals too. When you've got a goal, verbalize it. And that way we know, in case somebody knows somebody who knows somebody who knows somebody, to help that goal come to life.
That's
same
so
thing
true.
with all of it.
Yeah.
To just make sure, my mom, when I first started Best Ever You, she used to say, boy, that website, it's got everything but the kitchen sink. And I'm like, it needs it. It needs a kitchen sink too.
Yeah, no, it does. I know you inspire so much. And for those of you who maybe don't know, Elizabeth's Best Ever You network has been going for over 10 years now, right? Is it 12?
Yeah, it's almost coming up on 15.
But you talk about your heart, your well-being, your mindset, your core values. Like, there's all these really great buckets that I get excited talking to you about when we talk about those. But I don't want to go on too much or too sideways. We're talking about mindset today, and I know we have so many conversations to have in our future together.
Don't we?
Yeah, we do. Honestly, so we've known each other for just over 2 or 3 months now, met online, and we talk probably 4 to 6 times a week, I would say. Like almost daily.
Day.
Like the days I miss, I'm like,
what's your day?
And it's so neat too, because we're still finding out things about each other. She and I are co-writing a book together, and she'd written the introduction and sent it to me for edits, and that's how we're doing it. And in one of the phrases, she had written, and and my middle name is Marie, and I wrote her and I said, oh, I have to edit that. You said your middle name is Marie. That's not right. You were writing about me. She's like, no, mine is. And we were like, oh, that's crazy. We both have the same name.
Cats and Marie, what are you gonna do? Yeah,
I know. So these neat little connections keep popping up too. Besides our passion for conversations and inspiring others and helping everyone that we come into contact with, I think that's one of the things that really draws me to you.
Well, and me to you too, because I mean, I love your sparkles. So Your Life Sparkles is a great website too. So it's amazing, and so are you. And we'll just keep doing as much as we can do to help people
Yeah.
in whatever capacity that people need help. And I know we were talking, like, one of our next videos might be about like health and well-being.
Yeah.
I think like maybe like my mom was like, there's this thing. I was just talking to her before we were on here, and she's like, there's this thing. It's like you hold yourself up on the ground and you're on your I'm like, a plank, Mom? She's like, yeah, that's what it's called. My mom's 74, and she's planking in the living room like during this. I'm like, that's epic. And I'm like, I think we need a good old fashioned like plank challenge in the group, or something fun. Like jumping jacks.
I think there's room for all of that. And even though I'm kind of like, oh man, do we have to start with plank? Come on.
We just started a plank challenge.
Okay. No. Let's be clear. We just started talking about it. So nobody run away. We're not committing to the plank just yet. Right now, we're just getting to feeding the right wolf. Just feeding the right wolf. One step at a time, small step videos, that's it. Anyways, but I do love that. And on that note, I love that your mom is inputting, but for those of you in our group and listening, we also want you to input. So if you have things that are ideas for us to sort of have conversations about, or challenges, or to celebrate together, to lift each other up, or those struggles too. And we don't want to shy away from the struggles and the reality and the things that are sort of woven together in our world.
Good fair share of them, and the whole community knows. So
yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And so you'll see both Elizabeth and I sharing pretty freely, pretty openly, because that's who we are. But if something resonates with you, reach out to us, because we are here for you. That's really the bottom line. We're here for you. Yeah.
Perfect.
So I think that's kind of it for, we still have some things to iron out, like how we're going to sign off, I guess, at the end. But right now,
like the kisses.
I know, kisses. Okay, we'll do kisses at the end.
Hugs.
We send you all a wishes for a wonderful day.
Mwah.